I wonder if CyberFrog, if I solicit CyberFrog, would I hit the top 100? That's what I'm concerned about. Would I hit the top 100 through the direct market?
I mean, stores. See, that's the problem, is that outside of Comicsgate or out in normal land of normal consumers who just wander into comic shop, what's their awareness? If they don't put it up prominently, you're competing with Superman and Spider-Man.
Have we penetrated? Does everybody know? Do comics retailers know about CyberFrog?
Not all.
I doubt it.
All right.
Unless they're paying attention, because if they're looking at catalogs, how are they going to know? If they're on Twitter, yeah.
Well, and that's another problem is what percentage of them wouldn't touch it because it's you now. You know?
I don't know. I'm optimistic about that.
So my comic book stores are capitalistic, so they're already on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not all of them.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that finding a copy of CyberFrog in Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington would be difficult. You would have to do some driving, but I'll bet you I'd be all over Arizona, Texas, Florida.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'll bet you I'd be all over the Midwest. Could I break the top 100? Now, what is the top 100 right now, Edwin? Do you know?
Well, the top 50% of the top 100 is composed of Spider-Man and Batman titles. But hang on a second, I'll pull up November.
Give me the sales numbers on number 100.
Number 100. All right, it is low, man. It's going to make you cry. It was Supergirl with a $4 cover price, and it shipped 21,295.
Holy moly!
That's
right.
Okay.
So that means it sold about 13,000. That means that there's probably about 7,000 of those Supergirls still sitting on a shelf. This is from November sales numbers.
Okay, so 21,000 is a lot. I mean, well, not for DC, obviously, but
well, you say
for
that.
Me,
well, kind of, dude. But all right, sounds like a lot. But 21,000. The Diamond sells these books. Diamond sells these books to these stores at 50 to 60% of cover price. So this means DC before cost had a gross revenue of like $42,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is. I mean, DC is, everybody knows who DC is, right? Even if people don't read comic books, Supergirl's on TV.
Yeah. Why is Supergirl only selling 21,000 copies?
Dude, The Flash was only selling 16 to 18,000, and it was one of the biggest CW shows out there.
I don't think I would hit the top 100. I don't think I would. I don't think I can sell 21,000 copies of CyberFrog.
How many covers you put on it?
I'm not playing that game. I wouldn't do it. Well, I have a variant cover. I've got the Salamandroid variant cover. There's just one, but I mean, I don't know if I could do that. 21,000 copies. I mean, it's a big, to me, it feels like the book has penetrated. People are talking about it. But could I hit the top 100?
Then you can do it.
Hi, Critias. How you doing?
I'll tell everybody.
Yes.
What's up, Chris?
Oh, so I think you can do it. I mean, you did 10, right, on Indiegogo?
I did almost 12. Almost 12 on Indiegogo.
So you definitely can do it. I don't see why you wouldn't have a problem with doing that.
You'd have to. You could, if you announced, to your fans online to go into their comic store and buy them. They'd get them.
I would have to do a full court press with my audience.
Yep.
And say, and give them see, this is why the comic industry is doomed. I would have to say, this is what you need to do. You need to find your comic book store and order my book. And they'd be like, well, what percentage of my audience would actually do that?
Probably the same amount that paid $25 for one book.
They could do that sitting in their own home.
There's only 2,000 comic stores, though, right? And so even if you only mobilize 10% of your audience, but think about it, dude. For your number one, if it was in comic book stores, you'd get 10,000 people just hate buying that thing.
Oh yeah, I expect it. Once it comes out, I think I'm going to get a certain number of purchases based on how many people are going to rip it up on camera and stuff like that.
That's a sale. That's a sale.
That's all fine. I'm not going to cry. But yeah,
Tell them to tear up 5 copies on camera.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
even worse. Yeah, it's 5 times as bad.
Tons of stream it all. That way you can get more traction on sales.
And the other copies go up in value because then there's less copies out there. See?
That's the thing. These weirdos, Comicsgate, are more passionate about comics, and there's a lot of people in Comicsgate who still buy Marvel and DC comics. But if nothing else, we are at least people talking about their crazy comic books. So Richard sells comics. Yellow Flash sells comics. Tug sells comics because some people might say, "Nah, I don't want to take a chance on that," but at least they get people talking about it. Gail Simone, for instance, and again, I don't mean to harp on her, she spends more time trying to dunk on Comicsgate than she does selling her own crazy comic books.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I don't know. I don't know if I want to even mess with the direct market. I feel like I should do it.
I don't see why.
I think you
I
should.
think
I think
I think you should go in, Ethan. I think you should go in with the express purpose of not making money. Sell them for a freaking buck a pop, and sell them in bundles of 10 or 20. And
No, I refuse to do that. I don't want to just. The point isn't just getting people to buy CyberFrog. The point is me making money ostentatiously.
No, I know, but you're trying to reach people, dude. You have to. I mean, when we launched Alias, we did a 75-cent first issue thing because we're trying to get the first book out into as many hands as possible, so that the people who want to order the next book will have decided whether or not they like it, right? And people are much more likely to plop down 75 cents on something to try it than they're gonna do it on a freaking $4 or $5 book. It's just
actually here's where Mike is. Here's where Mike is onto something. You get it done in newsprint, so you can do it at a very low price. You have a beautiful cover. Your next page is Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter, on YouTube, and so forth. Right? Look for my next project on Indiegogo. You put like an alterna level price on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now, because you got to figure, you've got how many people are subscribed to this channel now? 80,000, and your good shows will wind up with between 20 and 40,000 views.
I got 92,000 subscribers now.
Wow!
Did you know I'm 1,500 subscribers away from passing Diversity in Comics, the channel that used to be Diversity in Comics.
Think about comics.
This will be the #1 Comicsgate channel on YouTube, probably in a couple weeks.
Richard, come on my show and I'll help you beat Ethan.
Good luck.
But imagine that there's still a lot of people showing up in their shops, right? That aren't in on this. They're not on Twitter. They're not on YouTube. They're not doing all this, right? And so you get those people, blow them away with something, and even if you only had a 10% conversion, that then jump in funding on your next round. If you add 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 new customers to back the new CyberFrog project, that's huge, dude. That is immense.
Ethan, no. Here's why.
Okay.
Everyone, sit down. I agree with you. This is for money. So if you want to make money, this is your business. You don't need to roll out of bed unless I'm paying you $5. Take the top 100. You sell 20,000 copies of this thing at $4 a pop, wholesale $2 a pop. You're looking at just $40,000. Do that frickin' black and white ash can. You'll make $80,000 clear. That's for money.
Yeah.
You have the golden BB. You do not. Why are you going to this defunct, squeezing a few pennies out model?
Well, I'm not. I disagree with Mike entirely. Mike is thinking like a loser.
No, you know what? You're thinking like Marvel. You're doing exactly what
I'm not. Your product is even.
You're thinking about the dollar for today.
I'm not thinking. No, I'm not.
You're trying to make money, but it's not about just making money. It's about building out your entire fan
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Anybody who pays 75 cents for a new comic thinks that that comic is worth 75 cents and therefore not important and might as well throw it out when they're done with it. It's all psychological. You invest a little bit more money in a comic and then suddenly that comic is more precious to you. You're keeping it in plastic. You're protecting it. You want it to be autographed. It's an important item in your library. It's important to you.
It's true.
That is why a comic book original artwork is worth nothing or $1 billion. It depends on what you want to sell it for. Comic artwork is worth absolutely nothing, really.
Superman #1 is worth nothing. It's made of the same molecules as every other comic that got thrown away and no one cares about. It's the perception. They put the crazy value of some third world countries' entire gross national product for Superman #1. It's perception.
I'm trying to create art that gets people excited. That gets people. No, it isn't.
It's not even worth the time to bother with those sales in a comic book shop. I hate to say it. Indiegogo, you're building Mike. He is building his audience. He's building it his way, independently.
I know, but he's talking about how to deal with the direct market, and this is what I'm saying.
I don't know about the direct market. I'm wondering if I even it. And the chat is going nuts right now. Some of them say, Ethan, you're wrong, dude. Mike has a good point. Other people, most normal people think I am right.
No, you know what, Ethan? It's not about, you don't need the direct market, obviously, to make a fantastic living doing this. Yeah. But you're also, at the same time, you're leaving money on the table. It may not be as much as you're ever going to make on Indiegogo, but you're leaving money on the table.
In what way? If I'm charging $1 for comics in a $5 comic market,
I'm looking at this different than Mike then, because I'm looking at getting these people over to the Indiegogo site, right? That would be the reason to go into direct market, not to try to make money off that, but to bring them, because I feel like there's 80% of comic book buyers out there who are still not aware of Comicsgate, still not aware of like all this massively awesome stuff that's being made, and how do we get to those people and get them to take a chance on getting on board?
I also say don't jeopardize what you've got for what you don't got. The backers you have are huge, loyal, and if you take a book and put it out there for $4, I just think it's not special. This is intimate and special. And I'd pay for that specialness. And as soon as you go on that rack, you're just another Supergirl.
Yeah. Then those books are disposable. Nobody cares about those comics. See, that's the problem. Nobody
and you go
cares.
to a store. You don't talk to those fans. You talk to
right.
the
version you would want to put out to that market would be you have to go back to thinking like the direct market was this great thing where they had their special covers and their better paper and all this stuff. It was still the newsprint, right? Well, now you're the direct market. Your direct sales are the direct market. You can think of the local comic book shop as the frickin' spinner rack, and you send the cheaper versions to gain fan base and bring them into your frickin' YouTube channel and just constantly grow your fan base with every avenue possible. And if you're just going to ignore them because, I don't know, whatever, all of your expressed reasons, I just think that's short-sighted.
My thing with Indiegogo is that you're not sure how many books you're going to sell, so you just can't throw a price thinking you're going to sell those books. You're not guaranteed.
Yeah, I think that the direct market is dying. Again, I don't know. I think I want people to come to me. And Mike, I know that I hear what you're saying. Go to people. You're saying, I want people to come to me for CYBERFROG. When they hear about it, they're going to say, where do I get it? And the answer is me. And I think that's the key. Again, comic books are at this point, comic books are, you can't even give them away. And that's the situation. Comics are valueless. These guys are saying, these retailers are basically saying to us loud and clear that if a comic book doesn't sell within 2 weeks, it's lost 90% of its value. It's not even sellable as a back issue anymore. Garbage. It's pure garbage. You need to pulp all of it. So that being the case, I don't want to go to them. I don't want to beg for their attention. I don't want to beg for people's attention. I'm going to get their attention. They're going to hear about me. They are going to hear about me. They're going to come to me and they're going to spread the word. And I think that's the way to do things right now. Now, would the answer be I've got a brand new movie, a new Star Wars movie, a new something movie. I'm going to put it out there for like half price because I want to reach more people.
But
People
you're
are
not
gonna come.
talking about brand new stuff. I thought you were talking about reprinting the stuff that you've already done.
Yeah, we're talking about where we go from here. Where we go from here. And if we go to the direct market, that is the way it would go.
That was always your plan.
My question about the direct market is, if I put it out there, would I be able to hit the top 100? That was my own with a $4 or $5 comic. And if I can't, I don't.
Number 50. Even if you're number 50, it wouldn't be enough. You can kill those sales with an ash can, or take your backlog of material, take your sketches and throw them together in a book. You'd make 10 times that, and reward the audience that you have for their loyalty and for what they've given you already, instead of go out looking for these people who will barely crawl in. Barely. You want to expand your market? Go make a Netflix series, and then everyone will come crawling back to you and buy more books in this model. They'll look for you online, not in a
watch a
comic store.
CYBERFROG Netflix series.
You better believe it.
Everyone's like, Mike delivers an uppercut to EVS's nose.
How hard is that?
It's an accident.
It's an easy target.
Yeah, Ethan, go make a Netflix series. This comic
true.
book market stuff is insane.
Hey, crowdfund it.
Crowdfund
Crowdfund it, buddy. If Netflix says no, take this model to animation. Show them.
We're just in a weird spot because I think Comicsgate is a lot about like how abused the direct market and the current model has become. And then the question is, now that we've succeeded at Indiegogo, do we want to be a part of that old system? Do we want to even try it? And Mike's thing is, yeah, and go to them hat in hand. And my thing is, no. That's not what I wanted. I don't want to devalue CYBERFROG and make it something that I'm begging people to read. I don't want that at all. I want people. I'm like Bill Murray at the beginning of Scrooged. You know what I mean? They have to want to see it so badly. They have to be afraid to miss it. You know, that's the kind of feeling that I want to create with CYBERFROG.
Yeah,
and
but the people that are your early adopters, they are going to have their unique, never to be printed again version of CYBERFROG, and then you break it up into the 22-page floppies that you're going to freaking. You have to get it out there, man. You have to get it out there.
But there is no out there. That's what we're saying. There is no out there. This isn't 1996.
There's a million people that go to freaking comic book stores every Wednesday.
How many do you think?
You want to ignore them?
I do.
But I do. Everybody wants the same. Everybody wants the same thing, though, right? We want to grow the audience, and if we can, we want to create new comic book readers. And this is one thing that Ethan's been able to do with branching out. And because I bet you I've seen 100 different people say, I was never a comic book reader till I saw Ethan talking about Star Wars and then started talking about his comics. Yeah. And now I'm a comic book reader.
You're selling comics to non-comic readers. You're the best disciple for the medium already. If stores and DC and Marvel did what you did, there wouldn't be a problem. There's a problem, and you're going to go crawl into that problem system.
How does Critias feel about it?
These are people that you don't have to convince to start reading comics.
I was just thinking, like,
ignore everybody that already reads comics. You know,
I was thinking about another way you can reach them.
So wait, let Critias talk. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking of finding a way to reach them. You know, I was thinking like maybe getting some assistants to go to Comic Cons in those specific states that they live in, and go with flyers. You know, and hand them out to prep for launches. You know, I mean, that's just an idea.
That's too much. That's the old way of doing things.
Yeah.
You know, we have a tremendous megaphone. You know, with YouTube, with social media.
Right.
And we have to do things differently. What we need to be doing really is trying to find a way to make fulfillment easier.
Yeah.
You know, we need a replacement for Diamond. that'll actually ship straight to people rather than stores.
It's called Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah, that's coming up, Mike. The problem with Amazon is that, you know, my wife and I are talking about this. There's no counter. There's no ticker. People like to watch the number grow. I like to refresh Doug's Indiegogo campaign. I like to see where it's at.
me too.
You know, people want to see, like, if you just have an Amazon site, people, there's the psychological joy of watching your purchase contribute to the whole.
Wait. Shut up. I just went up. What? I beat 134 by $400. 134.4. We just broke through a stretch on your show, Ethan. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks to your backers. I sure appreciate that, guys.
I don't think it was me, you know, but yeah, congratulations. That's great.
Call and I come on your show and boom. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that in a comic book store. Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sorry, guys.
I've had 3 sales since I've been on the show tonight.
You've had 3 sales?
Yeah.
Well, I've been,
you know,
I've
comics
been posting leaks. So.
Oh, you've been posting links in the chat. Very well. Edwin's doing it, so it's Edwin that's doing this. That's great. Carl Hungus says, "We love you, Doug." Smug Doug. Oh, a lot of people who are excited about Doug. Yeah.
We're looking like Don Johnson over there.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we all have like different ideas of how we want to approach
That's
selling
great.
to
We get to have independent businesses. We get to run them, how they go, and let the pieces fall. This is a huge experiment, like comparing the results. It's really a brilliant way to compare and contrast. I like it.